Good afternoon, AP US History. So if you look at the time, no matter what time you watch this, it's less than 24 hours until the big test. All the work that you've done throughout the year will pay off tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. I'm just going to go over a few things to remind you of what you should be doing. There is a video in Canvas that kind of goes through the test procedures. You should have gotten a ticket yesterday in your email that would have that's going to be your ticket into the exam that you'll want to sign in about a half hour before. So about 12:30 tomorrow, you'll sign in through the link they gave you on that ticket. If you don't have your ticket or you can't find the email, then you can sign into your AP, the My AP portal, to sign in, and you'll be able to find your ticket there. A couple of things I'm going to go over today. The first is this cram chart. This was put on Canvas on Sunday, and it was put out by Fiveable. It was one of the review websites that I've talked about in the past. And so this is just an overview of the different periods, periods 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you can see that period 1 and 2 here over on the left are not on the exam. So it's periods 3 through 7. So the American Revolution era, New Republic, period 4, the expansion of the United States, period 5, the Civil War era, period 6, the Gilded Age, and then period 7, World War I, World War II. Based on what we saw yesterday on the AP European History exam, they're going by topic more than they are thematic when it comes to the question. So they're like some of the AP Euro questions yesterday dealt with the Reformation or the French Revolution or Napoleon or the Enlightenment. So it dealt with a period of time and not so much a theme. So perhaps that's what maybe to look for. They also pointed out that none of the prompts, based on what I've seen on Twitter and through those kinds of sources, none of the questions pushed up against the 20th century. Not to say the APUSH is going to be any different, or it is going to be the same, but there's always that possibility as well. So the American Revolution, the Civil War, Gilded Age, everything is kind of open. So it's always good to prepare for any eventuality. Make sure that if you haven't already, you look at the rubric, which I'll go over here in a moment. This is the date, May 15th. That's tomorrow. Today's Thursday, May 14th. Tomorrow's Friday, May 15th. You can see the central time right here, 1 p.m. We are central time. So at about 12:30 or so, you're going to sign in through your ticket, and you're going to prepare for the exam. You want to make sure that you understand the procedure. If you haven't watched that video that's on Canvas that kind of walks you through the procedure, make sure you look at that. At 1 o'clock, you'll be shown your particular prompt. And of my AP European History students yesterday that I talked with, they mentioned that it didn't sound like they got the same prompt. So there's going to be a variety of prompts. You can expect that. The other disciplines within AP have had different prompts for the same test. So you won't get to choose. One will be assigned to you, but expect a variety of things, but you will have one prompt that you will be assigned, and that's the prompt that you'll have to answer. And yeah, I guess you won't know about the other prompts because you'll be focused on your prompt. When it comes to the rubric, make sure you look over the rubric. Last week when we held a Zoom, the one thing I emphasized was to be specific. No matter if it's in your context, your thesis, your evidence, whatever it might be, you want to be specific. So make sure you have your opening paragraph with your thesis and your context. The context, again, is setting the stage for what your argument is. How did the U.S. history get to that point to where what your argument is arguing? This is an argumentative essay. So you're wanting to set that up with context and be specific as much as possible. Your thesis, you can see here on the rubric, it's a claim. You're making an argument, and you're going to use the evidence to prove your argument. When you get into the documents and the evidence, you're going to be shown 5 documents for your topic. You want to make sure that you accurately describe the content of the documents. So basically putting in your own words what the document is about. You want to make sure you connect the dots between your argument and the documents. So that's where you're supporting the argument with the documents. You're using the documents to support your argument. You're showing how it's related. And then you want to explain the how and the why, how or why. What's relevant about this document? What's the author's purpose? What's their point of view? What's the historical situation the document was created in? That sort of thing. So that's what you want to do in the documents, evidence, and analysis portion. And then they're awarding extra points for evidence beyond the documents. So you can incorporate this into your body paragraphs. And a good rule of thumb probably with this would be to divide up the documents. There's 5 documents. Divide them up in between 2 body paragraphs, and you'll be good. You go 3 and 2, 2 and 2, whatever it might be. If you use 4, you're going to maximize your points. If you read the rubric, if you use 4 documents, you're going to maximize the number of points you can get. So try to use 4, if not all 5. But that outside evidence beyond the documents, you can get an extra 2 points just by providing specific historical evidence. So make sure it's very specific. You can't just mention something. You can't mention a name. You got to explain, why is this significant? Why is this other information significant? Why does it connect? How does it connect to your argument? So make sure you make those connections. And then you have a concluding paragraph. And the concluding paragraph, and you can see on the rubric, it's not on the rubric. There is no concluding paragraph point or anything like that. But you want to make sure that you wrap it up well, so that the reader has a way to kind of finish up what they're reading. Lots of review information, the DBQ rubrics, and I'm sorry, the DBQ reviews on Canvas have been on there. Some of you have taken advantage of those. Right now, at this point, your best bet is to just review the content. And that's where the different documents come in, the review sheets that you should have completed or you could have completed. Those are going to help you just review content. Charts like this will help. You could look at the Spark charts that I passed out. Those, you have hard copies of those. So look at those. And then tonight and tomorrow, there's probably going to be some Tom Ritchie videos where he's going to be reviewing. Tonight, for example, at 7 o'clock Central Time, he's got a live review. Over here on the side, you can type questions and see if he gets to them, that sort of thing. So that's live reviews. And he goes through a variety of topics. He might go chronologically. It just kind of depends on what the questions are about. The Fiveable, which put out the cram sheet that I put on Canvas the other day, they also came up with some tips. This came up after Monday's AP exams and some of the other disciplines. There were some issues. So you want to make sure that you read the question carefully. If anything, write it down very quickly on a piece of paper next to you so you always have it in front of you so you know what you need to be answering. Don't wait until the final seconds to upload. Start uploading before, as it says here, the 5-minute window, just to be safe. Typing your response in like a Google Doc is always a good recommendation. putting it into, just typing it straight in the Google Doc and then copying and pasting over into the window or whatever mechanism they have on the AP site. If you handwrite it and upload the right format, so you want to make sure it converts the images to the PNG or the JPEGs. It looks like Apple products have a hard time uploading a picture. So probably the best bet is just to do a copy and paste, type it. It's going to be quicker, and you can get it copied and pasted over into AP very quickly. I think you have to put your name and your AP number at the top of the page as well. It says here use Ethernet, a hard line into your internet instead of Wi-Fi, but there's always that possibility that you'll be fine. So between now and 12 o'clock tomorrow, if you have questions, email me. But just get a good night's sleep. A lot of you have prepared very well, so I don't have any worries. A lot of you are doing very well in completing the review, so that's going to help you just having that information in your mind. But if you have questions, email me, and I know you will do fine, and we'll talk soon. Good luck.